everybody, this is Jesse G down at Galleria J. Antonio in New York's Lower East Side. Today I want to talk about hot glass. That's glass that's blown by hand in a furnace, glass that's taken out of the glory hole, manipulated, and made into a vessel. How do you get these parts? Well, these are separate pieces of glass that are attached while the piece is still hot and is being manipulated on the pontal by hand. This vessel, the neck is stretched while it's hot, and then added are these larger pieces of glass. So you can Google and the word hot glass vessel, and you can actually watch glass blowers. I guess Dale Chihuly is the most famous of all the glass blowers. But I just wanted to tell you and give a shout out to everybody in Seattle at the Key Tower. When I was in Seattle, I learned about hot glass. I was there for 7 years, and I visited studios and galleries and learned a lot about glass. I brought it to Avenue A 10 years ago, and it's been a hit. But all this hot glass that I have here is all individually done and individually signed. And I'll tell you a story that I learned in Seattle about when man first saw glass. It was in the ancient times that the navigators and the boats would go from Mesopotamia to Rome to Persia. They would use those lanes of water to go in the ancient world for either war or supplies or to move populations. So they would build these huge fires on the beach for not a week, I'm talking 4 to 6 years sometimes. Because if you were a captain, you would look out on the water, you would see that flame going up, and that's where you knew where Athens were, or where your boat could go in safely. So those were the first navigators. Then somebody would decide, let's move it down the beach or to another country, or let's move this flame down further where we have more civilization or where we need to drop off supplies and people. When they would move the fires and realize that those flames that had burned for 4 years, 5 years, that the actual heat of the fire had melted the sand below it and made tiny pebbles of what man first saw as glass, sort of like little marbles. And they said, wow, what is this on the beach that the heat created with the silica? That was a story I heard in Seattle at a hot shop, and I'm sharing it with you. I'm also sharing with you that you only have one life, so have a good time because it's already tomorrow.